Hello, everybody! It's Lord Magicus. Did you miss me? I know I've been out for like the last week or so, but I'm back. We're ready. We're here to jam some fucking Modern Horizons 3. Oh god, I just said a F word at the beginning of the stream. Oh, that's bad. That's not gonna be good for the replay. Oh well, you know. This is fine. So yeah, let's see here. What do I have with me right now? Let me get this open here. Uh, what do we have here? We have us some shiny fishes. Yeah. Everybody loves this. Harbinger of the Seas. Yep, here we go. We know this is beautiful. Alright. We got our Flare of Denials here. Yeah, they just showed up today, so they're going in my shiny fishy deck. And also in here I've got my Sink into Stupors. Yeah, so all of the new shiny cards I had arrived just in time for me to hopefully play some Modern tomorrow. That would be nice. I want to jam my shiny fishes in paper, of course. And we are going to play on MTGO. We're going to get some practice in and understand what this format looks like. So here we go. This is what I'm rocking today. So first thing we'll notice here, so let's talk about the mana base. So we have discussed what this shell would look like a little bit, and right now we really want to play Harbinger of the Seas in turn 3. We have a lot more 3-drops in here than before that we actually want 3 mana for. So we're playing 3 copies of Sink into Stupor. It is a land, so we can play it and just take 3 for it if we need to. But also, it taps for blue, which is super important, and it helps get our blue count up high enough. So we have 15 blue sources to cast things like Flare of Denial or Sink into Stupors. So hopefully that should be enough by like turns 3 or 4 to be able to hard cast these things. But also, like when we add Cavern of Souls in here, we are very consistently we should have the mana for Harbinger of the Seas. So yeah. We are only playing 3 Mutavaults to try to reduce the times when, we have like island Muta and we aren't able to cast this in turn 3. So we can cast this with 1 Mutavault, so that should be fine. We have 22 lands, so it should be very doable to do this. And otherwise, yeah, the blue count should be very high for our fishes, and we should have enough to make our non-creature spells work when we need them. But yeah, playing 22 lands like this should ensure that, oh, that's the Fiesta going on. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, 22 lands here should make sure that, yeah, we've definitely got the ability to cast our 3 drops in turn 3, so it's good. Now, one of the new cards that we're playing here is a Flare of Denial. There we go. Yeah, there we. So, yeah, in order to play this card, we need to have blue creatures in play to sacrifice to it, and means cannot play Sea Note Scout with this card. We can play Sea Note Scout either with Harbinger of the Seas, or we can play Flare of Denial with Harbinger of the Seas, but we can't play both. Like we can't do all 3 of them together. So we're choosing to play Flare and Harbinger together, and because we're playing Flare, we need a blue non-token creature, which means we have to play Rishadan Dockhand here. So instead of playing Sea Note Scout, we have to go for Dockhand because it's the best blue 1-drop that we have to accompany Tideshaper here. So we can play either one of these in turn 1, and we have Flare online for that. And ideally, when we cast Flare, we want to sacrifice something that only costs like 1 mana if we can help it. We want to keep our big boys in play. Our 2 and 3 drops, we want them nice and beefy to attack with. So throw away the little stuff, and then, yeah, that's the idea here. Harbinger of the Seas, turning everything, all the non-basics into islands is very helpful with this because it has natural island walk. So it does help attack, and it can also turn off like some of the basic lands in the upkeep sometimes. So if you know your opponent was gonna do something like, say, they have 1 basic forest and they're gonna try to cast, what's the new guy? The blue, is it Nadu? I have no idea what the hell the guy's called. The new bird dude. Yeah, if they only have like a basic forest and the rest are all non-basics, then tap it in their upkeep and they won't be able to cast it. So very powerful. you can do a little bit of mana denial this way. Or like maybe against Tron, you know, if they don't have like their star, if they just are relying on basic forest and they want to try to cast like Sylvan Scrying, you can always tap it in the upkeep. And so it just makes it really difficult. You know, any deck that's like only going to have like, you know, one basic land in play and a bunch of like sorcery speed stuff they want to cast with it, Dockhand can help the mana denial plan by shutting it off. Tideshaper could also help this plan too, because it can also... We are going to be more inclined with Tideshaper to actually turn their basic lands into islands now. Because if we hit the basic lands with Tideshaper, Harbinger of the Seas will take care of everything else. So we don't have to worry as much about Urza's Saga with Tideshaper. So the benefits here, we hit the basic lands, it turns that into islands, and then Harbinger of the Seas will mana screw them and kill off Urza's Sagas at the same time. So there's really good synergy between these cards together if we want to focus on mana denial. Ideally, like, that's not the main route we want to take to win, but like it is a source of free wins. And the thing is, Merfolk does not have a lot of free wins. Harbinger of the Seas is one of the first cards that we've ever like played in this deck that gives us free wins, because there are board states where you just play this and your opponent is locked out of the game effectively and they will not cast any more spells before you kill them. Doesn't mean they won't cast spells ever, but you have to have a clock in play. But fortunately, Harbinger of the Seas, giving you Island Walk plus our 8 Island Walk Lords, is a very good way to try to win that game. So, and we can protect it with our Flare of Denials and Sink into Stupors, or even maybe Vodalian Hexcatcher or Tishana's Tidebinder, depending upon what it is. So, like Tidebinder might protect against something like, say, Leyline. So, you know, it's possible to do stuff that way. But yeah, Sink into Stupor again can like just kind of boomerang a spell back to their hand. So, and that just might be enough time to win the game. So it's very, very possible to do that. Otherwise, we're splitting Hexcatcher and Trickster in the main deck, and this is something I started doing a little bit towards the end of our Simic adventures here. And I think that in a lot of the matchups where Hexcatcher is good, Trickster is not necessarily that great. Or because like we want Hexcatcher for the decks that are playing a lot of non-creature spells that we need to counter, and we want Trickster versus all the decks that have lots of creatures. So generally one of them is going to be good and the other one's going to be like less good. So we split them here. So whatever one's bad, we'll board out and we'll board in the other one. So like if we're up against like Bowmasters or something, we may want to take out Hexcatcher and bring in Tricksters or something instead. So, but yeah, or you know, if we're up against like I said, maybe Tron, then Trickster is not as good. We'll bring in more Hexcatcher and take Trickster out, stuff like that. It's a good way to do that. So, so that's kind of the core engine here. You know, we don't need Force in the main deck if we're going to play with Flare. However, we can always bring it in against the decks that it's good. Because usually, like, Force is going to be good in some matches and Subtlety will be good in others, but we don't necessarily know which one until we get there. So Flare is kind of the middle option, and then we supplement it with whatever is over here. And Dismember, kind of the same thing. We're just hedging it here because there are a bunch of creatures we want to dismember, but not every deck is going to have stuff that we need to target with it. Like, if we go up against Tron, it's really bad. So, you know, we don't want to, like, go all in on the Dismember plan, but we have all 4 copies here to use. We do have to be careful with our life total because this costs 4 life to cast, and we don't want to have to bolt ourselves. Like, we could realistically find ourselves in a situation where, you know, if like Sink into Stupors are only like land to play, we might have to take 7 damage to dismember something. That is really dangerous. So we don't want to like go too hard on it if we don't have to. Like, so it is something to be aware of. But yeah, otherwise, I don't know. Like Tishana's Tidebinder is just here kind of to support this taking the vial up to 3 plan, but it's more Merfolk interaction. I mean, it's okay against some stuff, so it's in the sideboard. I don't know if it's going to stay there or not, but I wanted stuff, you know, that I just reasonably play in the deck, so it seems fine. Like, it's a powerful ability, so... yeah, and the other card here in the sideboard that we're now playing is Consign to Memory, which is really good against, like, all the Affinity and Eldrazi stuff, and it is also really good against stuff like Solitude. Anything with, like, a bunch of triggered abilities, like, it's helpful for, so... It's there's a couple decks where this card's going to be really strong against, but specifically, like, it is a 1-mana answer that deals with, like, Solitude, but also is useful against other decks, too, so. Like it's Tron, like it's fantastic against Tron, or any deck that's playing like the One Ring. We probably, we wouldn't mind having this card necessarily. So I'm interested to try it out. I don't know if it's the best card to have in our sideboard right now, but it feels like it's powerful enough that it should be in the toolbox. So we'll see if we run up against decks that where we need it. So other than that, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, people are trying different configurations of like putting Harbinger in the main deck, or like 3 or 2 in the main and the rest in the sideboard, or just not playing Svyelun at all, playing more Tidebinder. It's really, really hard to say what's right now, so we're just going to try it and see how it works out, and, as we kind of figure out how these decks go and what, like, the most broken stuff is, and, we might change our strategy. Like, it's entirely possible, if we find a bunch of prowess and stuff, then maybe we have to, like, put chalices in the sideboard, so... Because then there's also stuff like Ruby Storm we have to be aware of, so more, Hexcatchers or, like, Forces are good against that, so we'll see. Alright, yes, fish on a Monday evening, that's right. We're doing it. And hello, Witchy Kiss. Yeah, we're gonna go hard. Yeah, that's the plan. Alright, so, there we go. Get our 100 play points here for our Modern League. Alright, let's get playing now. So yeah, I'm really excited to play with these cards. Like, they're all very powerful. That said, Modern Horizons 3 dumped a ton of really powerful cards into this format. Stuff like Necro Dominance is just absurd. The new, like, the blue-green legendary creature is, like, also absurd. Just draws, like, a bajillion cards, so... Yeah, it is... The cart has been upset once again. It's not clear that, like, this format it's not necessarily the next Hogak Summer, but at the same time, like, a lot of the decks that were already good, like the Mono Black Scam deck, has now gotten even stronger, because they now have, like, Necro Dominance and Phyrexian Tower that just, like, make their line so much better. Yeah, Nadu. Yeah, Toucan Sam. Yeah, that's alright. I'm very, very suspicious that I don't know if that card's going to make it in the long term, because I feel like it's either going to do nothing or it's going to get banned, and right now it looks like it's ridiculously powerful. Necro Dominance, well, to be fair, Necro Dominance is a really fun card. It's just very, very powerful. I think we're going to keep this. Yeah, we have a pretty reasonable curve here. We draw any land, we get to ramp right up into Harbinger, so... They've mulliganed to 6, we'll keep it. I mean, if it's like Tron or something, we have Dockhand to slow them down, so we'll see. And, yeah, we don't... Especially if we're up against, like, a Grief deck, we don't really want to mulligan that hard. Cavern of Souls on... Merfolk! Oh, no! Alright, I just put, like... Alright. We're up against the mirror! Oh, no! Alright. Alright, Alright, well, they're gonna know what's up here. So, Lord of Atlantis is not getting cast. Harbinger of the Seas is definitely not castable. Actually, you know what? I already made a mistake. I should have played the Minamo, because it is possible, though highly unlikely, that we could just draw, like, multiple Cavern of Souls in a row and not have to give them Island Walk here. I just gave them Island Walk for free, even though there's, like, a very high chance that I'm gonna have to do it next turn anyway. It is possible that I might not, so playing the island is actually wrong here. There's no reason not to play the Minamo, so... Probably won't get punished for it, but, you know, maybe. We'll see. They don't have another land, so, yeah, okay. I think here we're probably... I think we're probably just playing both of these, right? We have 5 cards. I think we just want to jam a bunch of creatures in here. And then, if next turn we can always play a Lord and attack. Or, like, these have natural Island Walk anyway. The other option is I could play a Dockhand and tap down this Cavern of Souls, so... I mean, yeah, that's not a terrible idea. Because if they ever draw the land, then they can't... Uh-oh. It sent me a message. Yes! Yes! Ah. 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 Alright, alright. Let's figure this out here. So, if he play, like, if he kept this hand with the Vial, it is likely he probably has a bunch of 2-drops. So it could potentially slow him down. But obviously he doesn't have multiple 1-drops, or he would have played one and then Vialed one in, so chances are he only has, like, maybe one, like, Dockhand or one Tide Shaper, and probably a bunch of 2s and 3s, and if I tap this down in his upkeep, he's only going to get to reasonably put one card into play, and we get to add to the board and slow him down. I think that's worth it, so I think here we're going to play Dockhand, and we're going to tap this in the upkeep. Alright, so we're not going to attack. It's not worth 1 damage here. And I mean, he might Vial in like a Tide Shaper anyway. Ooh, okay, so that's good. So he doesn't even have a 1-drop here, so we tap down this, and then like next turn if we want, we could just play like Master the Pearl Trident, so. Or we could just play another Tide Shaper and then just attack that way. Yeah, so he has a bunch of 2-drops in play, so there we go. Alright, so it is almost certainly... Okay, so Silvergill, alright, that makes sense. He's trying to draw a card. He finds the island, but I'm assuming that means if he just drew the island, he doesn't have a 1-drop to play with it. So, at this point, we're probably not slowing him down at all. I think here we just jam Master the Pearl Trident and start smacking him faster than he can hurt us. Well, these already have Island Walk. Yeah, like, that's fine. If he has Subtlety, so be it, but that's going to cost like 2 cards from his hand, so... There's no way he's going to have... I guess he could have Flare of Denial. If he does, like, that's... I guess I'm okay if he flares this, because he removes his only board presence here, so... He could sacrifice the Silvergill Adept to flare this and then have 4 cards, but yeah, this seems fine. These have Island Walk no matter what, but we get to start attacking him quickly, so... Thank you for gifting the tier 1 sub to Bisharp. Alright, yeah. Yep. So Vial Trigger is going to go off, and I have the stop here in the upkeep just in case I want to use the Tide Shaper, but I'm not doing it this turn, because he found the land, so reasonably he can like put stuff into play with Vial, and he could have also drawn a 3rd land anyway, which would make this pointless. It's much better to start attacking with the Island Walk right now. But now, the other thing is I can also, at some point, Trickster on an opportune moment. If he plays like a Master of the Pearl Trident and tries to attack, I can Trickster and then try to block stuff. And I can just keep smacking him here. If I draw another land, I can just play this Tide Shaper for 1 and then Trickster. Yeah. I know. I'm not worried about him, like, looking here. The fish fam is always they're good people. I know they're. I trust you. I know. I'm just being playful. So, all right. So there's the Master of the Pearl Trident. So he's casting this. It means he might have another Master, like, to put into play with the Vial here. So I'll get hit for 3. I gotta be very careful because the Lord of Atlantis is dangerous. So here, he might have, like, Trickster. A land would be good. Oh, that's very good. Okay. So I think what I want to do is... I'm going to play this on Merfolk. Because I might... There is a chance I might want a Trickster in the upkeep. Or... I don't know. It's... No, this is probably not blocking. Yeah. Tricks. No, like this is never like getting blocked anyway. All right. Do I want to attack with Master of the Pearl Trident? Probably not. All right. So I guess I didn't need to play the Cavern right now. But it is important I get this damage in here. Because I'm trying to set up being able to kill them like next turn. This is now going to be a 3/3, so I have Trickster to put into play this turn to tap down a Lord, and then next turn I can play Lord of Atlantis, and hopefully that will get the job done. Yeah, I'm guessing that this is probably another Lord, maybe Silvergill. Okay. See, I don't really think the Silvergill is actually that useful here. If the Silvergill attack, I don't really think it matters very much. I think I'm just trying to kill them. There's a very high chance I'll put more Lords into play. This 3-drop here means probably Svyelun or Harbinger of the Seas. It could be Tidebinder as well, but I don't think that it's going to make much of a difference. Alright. Alright, so he does not have another Lord here right now, so if this attacks, I could actually Trickster this and try to double block. Or I mean, throw a Tide Shaper and then Trickster at this. He might have Tishana's Tidebinder, and if he does, then like it doesn't really matter right now. Because I'm still very much set up to kill him next turn, so I'm just kind of forcing him to use resources here. Again, Subtlety, if he were to use that, or like even Flare of Denial right now, doesn't really matter. Yeah, because I have the Cavern here, so we take away their Island Walk with this. And they become 2/1s, and then we can just block with our 3/3s. Yeah, and now we're just like winning the race no matter what, so. Okay. So we win game 1. Yeah, that was a little bit rough. Okay. So here's the thing. Flare of Denial is actually not very good against this deck, so we don't want it. We want that out. Trickster is going to be very important. Yeah. Subtlety is sort of important. Hexcatcher is sort of important. Tishana's Tidebinder is not really that important here. Like, Hexcatcher is probably better, but not by a whole lot. And, like, Dismember is also okay. Yes, like, Subtlety's not terrible, but, I mean, I think that we probably just want these. I think we do it like this. I mean, Harbinger of the Seas is not, like, amazing. It does turn off Mutavault, so, like, there is that. It turns off Cavern of Souls. Well, I guess it doesn't matter of that. Maybe the Tidebinder is actually better than Harbinger of the Seas. I mean, it's not completely useless because it does, like I said, turn off Mutavaults. It turns off our own Mutavaults too, so, like, yeah, Tidebinder does... it could... I guess this could matter more, so maybe we can bring in that and take out Harbingers here. That makes sense. And Svyelun's not super important either, but I don't think that like the rest of these cards are better than her, so I think this is just fine. We just want as much stuff that interacts with the creatures as possible. Okay. Oh, oh. Sure. Okay, whoops. I'm just moving this chat window out of the way. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely a keeper. It's actually it's okay. Like we're on the draw. We have like creatures to put in the. Actually, you know what? Yeah, this is less good than I had originally looked at it, but I think I still would have kept it. Just not super excited. But the Aether Vial is very important here. We just want to draw creatures. That's not ideal, but this is a match where I think we want to put the Cavern of Souls into play quickly because if we don't put it into play before Harbinger, then we don't actually get to do the thing with that. So, all right. Yeah, because if we play Cavern after the Harbinger, then we don't get to pick a creature type, so that's important. He has also not played an island here, so that matters. We are also not going to play an island probably this entire game, so going to play Silvergill here. I guess that's okay. We really do not want to play Lord of Atlantis, though. But we might be casting these sinks, so that's plus. Check this up. Any 2-drop, please. I guess that's okay. Alright, play Minamo here. I do not want to put Lord of Atlantis in play right now. The thing is, once we play this, everyone has Island Walk, so it is a really kind of dangerous thing at the moment. Yeah, see now I almost don't even want to play this now because we have Island Walk and they don't, so I can play Otawara here and then I have either Sinks or Tidebinders in play. So if he just plays like Svyelun, I might just bounce it back to his hand. I don't really want to bounce Silvergills back though. Just kind of yucky. I mean, just like, yeah, this is a little bit awkward with the creatures we kept, but like, I don't know, I guess we could have mulliganed to 6, but yeah. It's hard. It's hard. Like if we draw a 2-drop here, we might not be in that bad of a shape. So it's not the worst, but it's also not like perfect either. So I don't really want to be playing Dockhand right now. Probably I'm just gonna play like either Tidebinder or sink into Stupor. Depends what he puts into play right now. Yeah, this card is like really awkward to have here. Like if this was Master of the Pearl Trident, we'd be way better off. I really don't want to do this. I feel like I kind of have to. I need to like stop getting hit with these things. I can take the vial up to 3, put the Harbinger of the Seas into play, and then like cast one of these if necessary. Like this is fine. Like there's no flashing in a Hexcatcher is not going to change anything. I just need to stem the bleeding. Uh, Alright. When we get the vial on 3, we'll be in a little bit of better shape. Alright, we got Svyelun, I'm guessing. Yeah, okay. I'll probably just bounce Svyelun. Sure. That's fine. Okay. He seems to be flooding out just a little bit, so that's good news for us. I might not actually, yeah. So what might happen here is that if nothing else, like if he just goes to a combat, like I probably will bounce Svyelun, let him make attacks. If he attacks with Silvergill, I'll probably just trade like. Actually, I might vial in the Harbinger here and then just block it. That is a very dangerous card to be playing right now. Okay, well they don't actually get Island Walk here. Interesting. This could be Hexcatcher, but I don't know if I can really afford to. Like, if he has Hexcatcher, then I'm just kind of sunk anyway, so. My hand's not really equipped to beat a Hexcatcher right now. Oh, it's Dismember. I guess that's okay. Okay, so what's we got? If I put the Harbinger into play, I can't actually like block any of these things. However, I could always bounce this. Uh, yeah, this is actually really awkward because like I don't I almost kind of need to put this in play and then just hope that things kind of work out because I don't really have an alternative if they don't. I need his like last three cards to just be bad. That's not really the ones I need right here. I mean, I could cast them, but it doesn't really do anything. Except, actually, it would kill me if I cast them, because I'm going to be taking 8 damage right now. So let me think about this. So he didn't play another Lord, so I'm assuming that he doesn't have one. So right now we're facing 8 damage. I could play a Lord here and attack for 4 to put him to... I don't think that there's any realistic way that I can win this game at the moment. If I play 2 Lords, I can't actually block anything. Bouncing a creature doesn't really help because I can't, like, yeah, like if I put him to 12 here, then I have 4 and then 3 in play. Yeah, I don't think that there's any way that's going to work out, right? Just think about this for a second. You're to 12, and I have, yeah, 4, 3, and then let's say I play 2 more Lords, so it'd be 5 and 6 and 11. I guess it's possible. All right. All right. We'll see. If I draw another Lord, it might be possible. All right. But I also need him not to draw a Lord. Oh, no, it's not going to be because it'll only be 11. So I don't know. I don't think there's any mathematical way it'll work out, right? Yeah. Yeah, because it'll only be 11 damage. He's at 12, so yeah, I can't do anything about it. The sinking Stupor is unfortunately like, yeah, it's not some. I can't cast this Lord here and this, so even if I draw another Lord, he still goes to 1. Alright, well, we're going to be going to game 3. This is a really kind of weird hand here. Can't block anything. You find Hexcatcher? You must have just drawn it. Yeah, okay, that'll do it. Yeah, our hand wasn't actually all that great to start off with. Like, yeah, the sinks were not as good as they needed to be here, and we kind of got stuck with like the awkward like 1 Harbinger plus what like Lord here, which are like both cards that we really didn't want to have to play there. So yeah, it's a little bit weird. Made it very difficult. I mean, yeah, it's okay. We have a better chance in game 3 here being on the play. So this is, I think, better, right? Because we're just going to play a bunch of 1-drops here, and we don't have, like, a Lord, but hopefully it won't matter. We'll keep. I don't think that there's any reasonable and yeah, we probably want to keep the Otawara to use as a spell at some point, if possible. But I think what's happening here is we're just playing Tideshaper. And then next turn we'll play Dockhand plus Tideshaper. Unless maybe we draw a Lord, that might be okay. If he starts with like Mutavault, there's some chance that maybe I'll Tideshape it. Cavern of Souls, okay, sure. Okay. Tidebinder is actually going to be helpful against this Vial. That's actually not bad. I can play that in turn 3 now. Okay, play the Dockhand. I mean, it's very likely he's gonna have to play an island at some point anyway. So. And then we'll have Tidebinder up to hit this Vial, so yeah, we'll force him to play the blue mana sources here. This is not bad. Okay, well, we have the island now anyway, so it's all fine. So I'm guessing this is probably like Merfolk Trickster. Ooh, that's pretty good. Alright, well. No Vial for you, sir. If he has a Trickster in hand, he can eat a Tideshaper, but I think that's worth the cost here. I would rather use the Tidebinder to take the Vial offline, because that will slow him down a lot more. So. And now we're in a very crushing position here. I can actually play the Otawara to keep Trickster online and attack with the Mutavault, and yeah, we're dealing a bajillion damage. If he only has a Hexcatcher, it's not very good, but if he has a Trickster, he can kill one of these things, that's fine. Sure. Okay. He can kill any creature he wants here. But that's okay. And if he doesn't actually play any more lands, then I might start actually like using Dockhand to tap down the mana sources here. There is no fucking chance you're... What? This is the bravest attack I've ever seen in my life. No, I am not blocking this. I'm going to take the damage. What do you got here? Tide Shaper. Okay, you're just going to hit my Mutavault. Sure. That's fine. So I get to do now the same thing you just did to me. I can Trickster... Like, if you block with this thing, I will just Trickster it, and then, yeah, that's fine. Beautiful. And a Subtlety is not going to save this thing, so... Sure. I think we're just ridiculously winning this game now. Like, I can just use Trickster to tap down, like, his only blocker and just go wide for the win. Ooh, oh. Yeah, no, you don't want to be taking 3 in this. No, I didn't think so. Let's tap down Trickster. You might have another Trickster, that's definitely possible. But I don't want to enable any double blocks here, so... that's very good. That basically just wins the game. Now we can attack with everything freely. Okay, what do we got? Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Still gonna kill this thing. We won't get our +1/+1 here, but that should still be sufficient. I still have plenty of power. Yeah, 6, no, yeah, so, I mean, there's no way that, like, I don't think he can come back from this at this point. This might not quite kill him, but, yeah, I mean, it's close enough. The Dockhand itself is lethal right now, so literally every creature on my board is lethal, so unless you can magically deal 14 to me, the game's over. Oh, let's excuse me for 1 second here. There we go. New games. Yeah, I mean, the Merfolk Mirror is really weird because a lot of times, like, it kind of depends upon the draws of the cards that you have. There is a lot more back and forth to it than there used to be. Harbinger of the Seas, I think probably, I think it's probably correct to take most of them out for this. Same thing, like, Lord of Atlantis is also a very dangerous card, but it is possible that maybe Subtlety is better than, like, Lord or Harbinger. You know, I think that, yeah, definitely taking out, like, 2 Lord of Atlantis could definitely be correct. But, I don't know, like, we had enough stuff here where I think it was fine. Like, you know, with Trickster and Tidebinder, like, it does help, you know, to interact with some of these cards a little bit more. Flare is not really going to change the calculus in this much, and Harbinger is not going to change the calculus very much, so... It's... Yeah, like I said, the Dockhand is definitely helpful. One thing, if you are playing the green splash, you probably have an advantage in this, so that is for sure going to be useful. And I did tell him I was going to post a picture of here, so I'm going to put this in the Discord. All right. Alright, there we go. Alright, before we get into our league match, I have to go down and grab my box of cards that has just arrived back from storage. So, excuse me for just one moment. I will be back in like about, let's give 2 minutes, alright? So, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We're going to get into round 2 in just a second. Okay. Coming back. Alright, we're back. Sorry for the interruption, chat. You know what? Here, I will show you what. Let me grab it. The camera screen. Oh no, the camera froze. Hold on. I can fix this. It always resets the settings when this happens. The weight of my addiction sometimes is gonna kill me, but... Okay. Here we go. This is a giant treasure chest full of magic cards. I had to remove from the house for a bit. You know, like all the Merfolk stuff, so... And all of my other important stuff is in this treasure chest box. A very, very heavy box. Had to bring in from outside, so... Alright. On to round 2. We're good. Oh, look, this is not a professional stream situation. We're just winging it, so, you know. Yeah. This is all for fun. I do not make nearly the amount of money I would need to live on this. This is not a professional operation. However, if you do decide to sub or, you know, donate in any capacity, I really do appreciate it. I don't ask for it, but I am very grateful nonetheless. I never noticed this little animation around this box here. This little, like, blue thing running around the edge. That's really cool. Okay, what do we got here? This is probably fine. It's not, like, amazing, but it's probably good enough. Okay. Uh, they're keeping 7 cards. We'll go Island Vial. Then we can Violent Dockhand, Tideshaper a land, and then hopefully turn 3 cast Harbinger and just like really fuck with them. This is like the mana denial hand that we can keep with this deck, so. I have the stop on their up. Oh my god, is this Merfolk again? No, this is Tamiyo. Okay. Well then, I don't really need to tide shape them here. Putting a 2-drop would be great. It's not exactly what I was hoping for. Okay. Hmm. Alright, well, we'll just Vial in the Tideshaper. And then just hope... I don't know if Harbinger of the Seas is going to matter against this deck, but we'll find out. Yeah, we don't have Blood Moon. We have Blood Moon. Okay, well, they're going to get another basic here, so... Alright, well, I'm forcing them to use removal right now, or we're going to kill Tamiyo. Oh, it has flying. Never mind. Yeah, so I forgot. This thing, it has flying. Whoopsie. So yeah, we're not blocking it. Oh well. It's fine. Look how fine it is. I don't feel like this is a match where Flood Moon is going to help us a lot, so... Okay. Like, we're going to play it and it's not going to do anything to them, so... I think I'm just going to play this one. And then next turn, I will have another Vial here, so I can Tide Shape a land. Like, if they try to kill this thing, I'll just Tide Shape their mountain and then Vial it in. Okay, so this is the energy deck. I'm not familiar with what this deck looks like. They're up to 3 energy right now. I want them to tap this mountain really badly. Okay. Because if they do this, they're setting us up to potentially, like, lock them out of mana here. Oh, yeah, okay, so that's good. Good. That's bad. Alright, they have their Vista back. So yeah, like, now we're kind of in trouble because they're going to have basic mana no matter what. Well, I can tick the Vial up here, so... Mm-hmm. That was a mistake. I'm hoping. Please don't have a counterspell. Fuck, they have counterspell. Ah! I didn't have the Cavern to get around it this time. Okay. Fine. Well, I don't know. Like, we need them to just not have any more red removal, I guess. It feels like Harbinger's probably not going to be that good against this deck. If they're playing Prismatic Vista, that means they probably have a lot of basics in their deck. Or at least enough where they can play around this really easily, so... But I'm still not super familiar with how this deck works. Okay. I mean, drawing Svyelun is kind of fine, because we have another thing to violin here for 3. It might not have more removal, though, so that's what I'm hoping. Okay, I mean, that's, I guess, okay. They're at 7 energy right now. That's got to be a bad sign for us, right? This thing stays on 3. Alright, well, Ward protects them now, so... It's at 4, so I can put it back to 2 so they can't get their removal back. Yeah, I need this thing to stay at 2 so that way they don't get Bolt back. I mean, it is possible they just don't have like any. Yeah, they might not have any red spells to cast at the moment. So I don't know what could be stuck in their hand here. If I send all of these at Tamiyo, it will die theoretically. Not anymore. Okay, I need Island Walk now. I don't know what they're doing with all this energy, but it can't possibly be good. Ah, fuck! I forgot. I don't get to pick Merfolk for this now. Okay. All right, that's fine. Yeah, and I have to keep this thing offline. So they can block Svyelun, and then it'll take 2. Oh, that is brutal. I don't have any answer to that. I'm not going to get to draw any cards from this now. I think this means we're just, like, lost here, right? Because Tamiyo's just going to get stuff back, and... Yeah, like, I don't know that we can, like, win this from here. They can just get back Galvanic Discharge, kill off Svyelun, and, like, we have nothing, and they're just going to have infinite card advantage here. Like, this seems lost. Yeah, this is a match. I don't think Harbinger is going to be all that good, so... And they can just flip this one, and then, yeah, again, just continue walling us off here. Okay. Okay, so I don't know what's in this deck. What do we have to worry about? Are they just playing, like, Discharge? Or is this... Okay, what? Unstable Amulet? Is that the one? Just a bunch of card advantage here, I guess. Well, they know I can't do anything here, so... Ugh, this is rough. What's up? How's the deck been? Well, we beat Merfolk, and this is round 2. I think we're this seems a little bit rough here because they have the basic mountain here, and they've had removal to play around Harbinger and Tide Shapers, trying to lock them out. So, well, getting the Tamiyo down earlier was kind of rough. The sexy metal lady wrote song about blood moons. Yeah, I doubt we can like come back from this. They have way too much. All right. I think that we're done here. This is not going to be this is not a board state that we can reasonably beat. All right. How do we do this? Very good question. Okay. I'm getting some idea. So I don't think that Harbinger's actually going to be very good against them. So this is a card I might be inclined to take out. Tidebinder might be okay. So I mean, their counterspell deck. Let's see. They also have probably. I think they have enough stuff where the Dismember is probably a good idea. Hmm. Anything else like really stand out here? I mean, it's probably stuff like Expressive Iteration. Yeah, just probably. Okay, so let's say that we don't like this card. Say, I think they do play enough creatures where these are probably good. The Flare of Denial is also probably fine, I think. We need, like, at least one more card. We could make a decision on Hexcatcher versus Trickster here, I guess. They are a Ragavan deck, so... Yeah, it's difficult to say. Like, Hexcatcher might not actually be all that great simply because their curve is really low. So maybe we want Tricksters here. Well, you can take a... They might not bring in more Ragavan, so maybe do it like this. Alright, we'll try it like this. Alright, let's see. Sure, we're gonna keep this. We'll probably just be jamming one of these Sink into Stupors as a land here. Oh. I'll remove this stop because we're not likely to need it for a while. Okay, Preordained, sure, that's fine. And I think we'll play the Lord of Atlantis first, because if something is going to get bolted, I would very much prefer the Lord that's going to pump up their Tidebinder to be the one that eats it. Master of the Pearl Trident is a little bit better, so we're going to save that one. This one's the one we prefer to die. Just because they do actually have a Merfolk in their deck, so... Okay, Preordained, so they might be looking for another land. They put both cards on top, so they should know what they are. They put both cards on the bottom this time, so maybe they were looking for this Tarn. I am willing to guess that, like, this... So, a few things could happen here. If I play Svyelun, this Lord's probably going to get Eat a Bolt. I could play Lord of Atlantis, and if they don't do it, then I always threaten to just Violin Master to defeat something. It might be worth trying to get them like that. It is also theoretically possible they could have something like Mystical Dispute, so... Here, this way, now if they try to, like, kill Lord here, I can always Violin the Master in response to them cracking the fetch. Okay. This also prevents us from getting got by, like, Brotherhood's End next turn, so... Be gone, bot! Get the fuck off of here. We don't do that nonsense in this channel. Okay. Yeah, so dealing 3 damage to everything is actually, like, very pointless. And then we'll probably just hold up Sink into Stupor, honestly. For, like, and at this point, like, we are very likely crushing them no matter what they do. So, I don't think that they can beat, like, the Lords on the board as it is. If I get to untap, I pretty much win. Okay, Flames? Sure, I guess that's fine. Few people on the Merfolk Discord. Yeah, sure. All right. So that's fine. They played Flame. So, I mean, we're still in very good shape here. We'll just take Vial up and hold up Sink. We'll put this Svyelun out just because it protects our creatures here. It taxes them just in case they try to do some nonsense. But yeah, now if they try to wipe my board, I'll just bounce it back to their hand and they're just going to die, so... Yeah, a couple people have been experimenting with Tamiyo. I mean, the card looks reasonable, so for sure that it's probably fine. But I don't know what their plan is right now. Unless they have Spell Pierce exactly, or like Mystical Dispute. No, they do not. Okay, good. Sink into Stupor was what we were looking for here. Excellent. So, look, this is where Sink into Stupor was actually, like, really good as a land spell. Did precisely what we needed it to do. Alright, yeah, okay, that's good. So we're on the draw here. We know that they have, like, Anger of the Gods, so it's very possible that stuff like... If they're going to be tapping out for, like, 3-mana spells, then maybe Hexcatcher is going to be a little bit more valuable than I think. This could be useful here. Maybe Tidebinder's not quite as good. I mean, the only thing is Tidebinder does interact with Tamiyo, but... That's why we have the Dismembers, and we're really hoping to get him like that. So just keep the curve a little bit lower in the draw and hope that that's better. All right. Tameo does definitely seem like a good card. I could definitely see like a red-blue version of the Merfolk list with like Flames of Anor working with Tameo. This is not the worst hand. It's, I don't know, it's a little bit creature light, but maybe it's okay. If they go like turn one Ragavan or like Tameo, then we're just gonna dismember it. So, all right. If we draw a couple more creatures, then this hand gets way better. So they put a card on top, so obviously they like it. Ah, this is fine. We'll just play the island and play the Tide Shaper. And now I have Flare of Denial up for whatever I need here. That's good. Okay, sure, Preordain away. I mean, honestly, if they just play like Tameo, I'll probably just like let it resolve and just dismember it. Hope to draw another 1-drop to play alongside Dismember. Okay, I mean, that's fine if they want to do this. I'll probably just like flash in Hexcatcher. This is okay. I mean, sure, that's alright. Um, I guess I'm gonna play the Master while they're tapped out here. They might have another Bolt, but like, I can always play this at flash speed and it's easy to hold up. Alright, Snapcaster Bolt kind of sucks. I mean, whatever. That's always how it's been with this card, so it's fine. We're not super concerned about that, and this is not really what I want to be using Dismember on, but just thinking about whether I want to represent Mutavault potentially blocking this thing or not. So I can still flash in Hexcatcher like this, but I also threaten to activate Mutavault. Okay. If they don't do anything, I'll probably just flash in Hexcatcher at the end of turn. They can't cast Flames of Anor here because I can just counter it with the Hexcatcher, so that, yeah, it doesn't really help them at the moment. They'd just be trading 3 mana for 2 mana. Looks like they're going to go for it, though. Really seem to be thinking about it. I mean, it was worth basically 3 cards to do that, so I kind of needed to. Play this. I can hard cast Flare of Denial here. Alright, I think we're at the situation now where we're just going to dismember this thing. We're tapped out, we're taking damage from it, we don't have any other targets for it, we may as well use it now. We can hard cast this if we need to. We really need, like, Svyelun to come through for us here. That's the card that's going to really change it up. Alright, I have to try to counter this. Alright, good, excellent. Are you going to Flames me again? Could have. Well, they can only draw 2 with it. I mean, it's not great, but it's better than dealing with this. They don't have a wizard, so they can... Yeah, they don't get to pick 2 modes, so they can't blow up Vial and draw 2. We really need Svyelun, though, because that's what's going to turn this around for us. Murktide is also not ideal for us. Yeah, that's going to be hard to deal with. Okay. Was not really prepared for Murktide. I mean, we definitely have cards that can help with this, like Sinking the Stupor and Trickster are really good here. Not so much the Mutavault. Okay, well, we're kind of sunk no matter what, so I guess we're just going to play the Vial. We'll get one of these on 2 and one on 3 and hope that Murktide doesn't kill us before it's too late. Alright. So I guess they've just, what, dumped, like, Unholy Heat and Consider so that they can play, what, the energy package lets them go a little bit bigger with their removal on certain things, so they don't need the Delirium. They're not as weak to the graveyard. Alright. I guess that makes sense. Yes, and... I'm going to say no to this one. Alright, well... we really need something next turn, though, or we're dead. I don't know what's going on here, but, yeah, no. What? No, I didn't... What happened here? I didn't pass... I didn't do anything. How did I yield through this? I didn't click on that. I just attacked with this. I didn't click to yield. What the fuck? I wanted to counter that. Alright, well, I guess we're just lose now. I don't understand, like, how I just yielded that. I didn't press any of the buttons for this. I was specifically, like, left the mana open so that I could counter a spell. How did that happen? Did I like, click on something when I was right-clicking for Mutavault or so? I don't think I did. I'm going to have to go back and check that, because I don't feel like I did that. Alright, well... That's... Classic MTGO, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to have to check the replay on this. What time? I'm going to check the timestamp on this. An hour and 19 in? Okay. Yeah. Alright, whatever. Alright, this hand is probably fine. We'll keep it. They've mulliganed, but we have Vial here, and we have creatures to put into play with Vial, so... And I mean, if something bad... Oh, they've mulliganed to 4. That's probably not a good sign, right? I mean... If this is Tron, like, this could be bad. Devourer of Destiny. Okay, this might be okay. We just need them not to, like, chalice us in 1, because if they do chalice in 1, we're probably screwed. Well, they... Expedition map. Okay, that's fine. Okay, what? How? Why did they reveal this? Okay. They reveal Devourer of Destiny from their hand, so I don't understand how this works. Look at the top 4 cards. Oh, the other ones are exiled, so they exiled these ones. Okay. So we're up against Eldrazi Tron, it looks like, I think. It could be, I guess, yeah, no, it is Eldrazi Tron, because they played the Temple, so... We're looking to just jam this Harbinger of the Seas. Hopefully the Dismember will help us. Alright. Alright, excellent. Alright, oh, they're gonna have fucking Tron next turn? Oh, God. That's not good for us. There's, like, nothing we can do to stop this at this point. Drawing a land or a 1-drop is not very helpful. I guess that sort of helps a little bit. If we draw another land, we can play like Harbinger plus a 2-drop here. Yeah, they're going to have Tron mana here, so Devourer of Destiny is going to be pretty brutal, right? I think they can cast it. I believe it's 6 mana. Huh? Oh, 1 or more color. Okay, then I guess that's okay. I guess a land like would be ideal because we can cast Harbinger if we find it. We want land. Any land will do it. And then we can deal with this with the Dismember, hopefully. Come on! Oh, that's not good. Okay. Play this. Hope. Well, it's maybe they don't have anything else that's good to play right now. That could be the only thing that's worthwhile. We just need this to get ticked up. Okay. All right. Tap this thing. What do we got? We got another one? Oh, fuck. All right. That's bad. Well, the good news is we are going to get Harbinger online, and... Yes. We might be able to race this, possibly. Okay. It's not the end of the world here. Let's start by turning off their mana here. So no mana for you. Everything's... Yeah, we'll put this into play right now. So Island Walk, we're going to attack. We will block one of these guys and kill it with Dismember, take the other one to the face, and then we'll put Svyelun into play to block the other one, and we should just be winning from there. Just hope they don't have Dismember. Oh, they have the Dismember. Of course they have the Dismember. Why wouldn't they? Alright, yeah, deal. Alright, how bad is this going to be? It's Eldrazi winner all over again! Alright, the Chalice and 2 is not actually relevant right now, so that's okay. Uh-huh. Alright, we take 6. We go to 10, but Svyelun can wall off this other one. We need to keep this Vial on 2, so... We're not losing this game, so we're actually still in this, surprisingly. Alright. No. Okay, that's good. Is there any reason to... I think we want to use this mana right now. Alright. keep the Tidebinder up just in case. 8. Okay, I think we're in pretty good position here. Because right now we're theoretically winning. Depends if their last card sucks. Fuck! How is that your last card? What the fuck? That's not fair! No! Ugh. I did not need to put that in play right away. That was so bad. I totally screwed myself. That was not necessary to violence Svyelun there. Alright. I definitely, like, punted that super hard. I could have at least blocked this thing and had a chance of racing them and just flashed this in on the end step. I could be at 10 and then there'd be a reasonable chance of winning here. All right, I think we're just dead, right? Because I have to block this, like, fuck. Like I don't have any like way out here. If I draw, I have already used a trickster, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I draw like trickster into Svyelun. Like I only have like one of each of them though. All right, that's entirely my fault. Like, I guess I play the Dockhand to stay alive, but like this doesn't really do anything. Yeah, being at 10 and being able to like attack them and put them down to 5 like definitely would have gave us a better chance. What's gonna happen here? What are they doing on the end step for 10 mana? That was just insane. Like going like Dismember and Double Devour and okay, I think that's gonna. They get to scry 8 and draw a card. Okay, whatever. That's gonna be fine. Like deal, whatever. That was ridiculous. Like we were like so favored, I think, to get there and just couldn't. All right, I want Trickster. I think I want Dismember. I don't think Hexcatcher is very good. Everything else seems like it's probably fine. What about Tidebinder? I mean, Tidebinder is also okay because it deals with the cast triggers, but like, would it be better if it was something like Force or Subtlety? Oh, we want Consign to Memory, obviously. Like this card is fantastic. This has got to be better than Flare of Denial for sure, right? So we can, or maybe it's even better than Tidebinder. Flare deals with like anything. I mean, this feels like this is okay. Sure. That was rough. Oh, God. We need to be able to curve out to win here. I feel like it's worth it just because I have Flare, and if I find a land in the first, like, 3 turns, I'll probably be okay. If they just play, like, Expedition Map, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to just counter it. This is definitely a risk, though. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Come on, land, 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 land! That's not a land. It's okay because we can cast it, but it's not a land. So we really want to draw another land like next turn. Okay. There's Urza Saga. Come on, if we can find the land, we are actually like in this to win this here. Come on. Yes! Okay, excellent. Okay, thing is gonna trigger like I could either play the Tideshaper and kill off the Saga, or I could play the Master of the Pearl Trident. Probably just killing off the Saga is the best bet here. Just keep them on as few lands as possible. What are you doing for 2 here? Are you going to exile my Tide Shaper? I might Warping Whale, I guess. If we find the 3rd land and play Harbinger, we might actually be, like, set to win here. Oh, did they think they had the 3rd mana to activate the Saga? Alright. They could have kept a greedy hand with, like, Map Saga Tower and just no other lands, and if they did, then they're probably going to lose. So we can play Master and then kill them. Alright. Oh, they found Ugin's Labyrinth. Oh, fuck. Alright. They exiled all his dust. Trinisphere? Alright. We need... If we find the land, we probably win the game. Oh, fuck. Yeah, we win. Okay. Excellent. Yeah! That Dismember is going to cost you 3 now. And again, you have to have a 4th land here. So if they don't have another land, they can't even cast Dismember. If they don't have another land, they can't cast any spell. Ah, fuck, they have it! Oh, no. Please don't have Dismember. If they, I mean, they still might not have Dismember, so... Okay, well, you know what? I'm just not going to cast any more spells the rest of the game. I'm just going to hold up this Flare of Denial, and you will not be able to win the game as long as I do this. You know what? No, this is actually a situation. I could have cast the Master of the Pearl Trident there. For sure. Yeah, because I could have always just sacrificed it if I needed to, but I think I would rather just do it like this. So they can't cast any spells. Like, yeah, I don't think it really mattered which way I did this, but, yeah, sure. We just, oh, sure. Yeah, we just cast it for actual mana. They can't cast any spells to interact anyway, so... There we go! That's better. Looks so much better here. Yeah, alright. Flare is good. Consigned Memory is good. We're going to be on the draw here. We know they have the 1 ring, so... Could take out, like... They probably still have Chalice in the deck. Could take out, like, some Dockhands and then maybe just bring in, like, some Hexcatchers back. So these are, like, against the 1 ring, they might be a little bit better. Alright, we'll do it like that. It's also, yeah, because they might Chalice me, and I may not have the Cavern of Souls, so... Ugh. Okay, this is a really weird hand. I only have 1 creature. They've mulliganed to 6, so... I can play the Dockhand. I have, like, no actual pressure to fight them, though. I think I have to mulligan this. I think this is probably keepable. But yeah, you know, no, this is definitely, because we have the Sink into Stupor. Okay. We're definitely going to keep this. We have to put something on the bottom here. I think probably just put Lord of Atlantis in the bottom. We'll play Sink into Stupor most likely, unless we draw a land. Elixir of Immortality is not relevant to me. They've mulliganed to 6 cards? Okay. Okay, well, we just drew another Lord. I don't think there's any reason for us not to just do this. And we can play Lord and then play into Harbinger. Hopefully that'll be good enough. Hey. It does kind of suck drawing the land now that we played the Springs here. But what are you going to do? Sure, that's fine. Like, this is probably sufficient here, so go ahead, put something underneath this. You have 5 mana. You can't do anything with it, right? That is also very good. Okay. Let's attack with Lord of Atlantis, because if I need to sacrifice something, I am definitely sacrificing the Lord to protect my Harbinger of the Seas. They'll probably just take their all as dust back here. What are you doing? Okay. For 5 mana, what do we got? Uh, no, we're definitely going to flare that. We're in very good shape here. Well, they don't have the One Ring, so that's good, because they could have played One Ring right now. Okay, excellent. I think we're just jamming Svyelun and Tideshaper here. The other alternative is I could play Master of the Pearl Trident and also Tideshaper, just in case something bad happens to Harbinger of the Tides. What would... Yeah, because we can keep that away. That's actually not a bad plan here, so... I only have 2 cards, so they might not be able to cast whatever they are. Let's keep the All is Dust far away from my creatures, please. Urza's mine. Okay, so they're at 5. Still don't have anything relevant here, so that's good. Let's just play Svyelun. Svyelun will make it a little bit more taxing to try to get rid of this thing, so good. Otherwise, we're probably just winning. Yeah, alright, we got there. Beat Eldrazi. It is not the winter anymore. It is now the summertime. In the summertime, the Eldrazi winter melts. That feels like that's a really scary deck, though, because, like, they certainly do have the draws that can just, like, completely overwhelm you. Like, if they just have, like, natural Tron, or I'm sorry, like, or just, like, I guess, what, multiple temples or whatever, they can just ramp out stuff really, really fast, and, yeah, it can get really bad really quick. Alright, let's be on the play. Well, we have Dockhand into Mutavault. Like, it's not really that good, but we do have Harbinger to follow up with, so I'm going to keep it. We'll just see. There is some chance that maybe we'll just play, like, Mutavault. Alright, Chancellor of the Dross. Oh, fuck. Okay. This is Necro Potence, or the Necro Dominance deck, I assume. Which means we are definitely going to want this Flare of Denial. How's Modern going? We're 2-1. Okay, so, I mean, that's not bad. So far, we've seen Flare of Denial be good, we've seen Harbinger of the Seas be good, and we've seen Sink in the Stupor also be good, so... Okay. What are we doing with this? Okay, whenever you get energy... Is this like Black Burn or something? Is that what's going on? Sure, I guess that's fine. This is basically just a fancy, like, lava spike, right? It's not bad. So I think I might actually just Dockhand them this turn. Play the Aether Vial. Just take away some of their mana and slow them down. maybe Harbinger of the Seas can get them. What? Sickening Shoal. Okay. Um, alright, I guess. They don't gain any life or anything, right? So, sure, they really did not want Dockhand hurting them here, I guess. Alright. Discard Necro Dominance. Alright, fine. Each opponent discards a card and loses 2 life. Sure. I think I am discarding Tishana's Tidebinder. So I'm just going to play Island Harbinger of the Seas, and hopefully they don't get to cast spells anymore. That is awesome. Alright. First things first, let's get this Tide Shaper in play so we have Flare up. No more spells for you! That is another very good one. We'll just keep that in our hand. Alright, good. Now we're just clocking them. The energy is not going to matter. Like, I really don't give a fuck if they do that. They have no lands to play. They have no spells to play. Excellent. Okay. I'm going to leave this on 2 because I want to hold up 3 mana for my spells. Oh, look. Look at how good at Magic cards we are. Saw that from a mile away. Merfolk Tier 1. Look at this. This is insane. There is nothing they can do to stop me here. This is just inevitable at this point. Uh-huh. There is not any point to casting the Dockhand because right now I can cast both of these. And I think casting the Sink into Stupor on with the first thing that they... Let's assume they draw, like, Basic Swamp and then they try to, like, I don't know, Fatal Push or something. Yeah, like, they sacrifice this thing and try to Fatal Push me or whatever. I can just Sink into Stupor and I just win anyway, so... Okay. Okay. I think that this is the Blackburn deck, right? I just want to take a look to see what it looks like here. I mean, I know that deck plays Chance. Yeah, I think that that's what this is, so... they play a lot of spells, so, like, this is probably a Force of Negation deck. And they do have a couple creatures we should probably be worried about. So the Dismember is not, like, the worst, but it's not amazing either. Yeah, I don't think that we need it. I think we can beat most of their creatures without it. What is it? The new one that we should be worried about is, I think, Soaring, right? It's a 1/4 lifelink extort. And what is it? You have to gain 3 or more life to exile it, and then it can make food. It can deal damage to the life you gain. It's not that bad. We could, like, yeah, they have that, and they have Sleeper Agent. But, I mean, the Sleeper Agent's going to hurt them, too, so... I think that's okay. We can probably live without Dismember in this match. Tidebinder is probably not necessary to this. I think that we probably prefer Hexcatcher. Just because we want to counter the Necro Dominance. So they do have Soul Spike as well, so yeah, that's gonna... I can cast that for free. Yeah, I think just like Counterspells in general are where we want to be for this. Trickster is probably not that necessary. Otherwise, like... I don't think there's much... Like, I feel like we should be pretty good against this. This looks about right to me. I don't think... Yeah, it doesn't look like they have Bowmasters in their deck, so this is... Svyelun's probably fine. Uh, Maybe the Tidebinder is a little bit better than Svyelun. It's definitely possible. Because it does interact with their ability to burn us and some stuff, so... You know what, I could see that being the case. Alright, we're going to try it like that. We'll bring in the other Tidebinder. Just anything that interacts with it. Because it does stop their enchantments, I think, so... Did we get it in time, I think? Yeah, okay, we did. We're good. So this is another new deck that we haven't seen, so... this hand looks fine, right? We're basically on the same exact plan as before. Play Dockhand, play Hexcatcher, and then play Harbinger with Flare. Okay. Cliffs. Sure, that's fine. This is basically just a fancy bump in the night. Well, or I guess it's a lightning helix for one, right? Yeah, this hand looks really good, I think. So we have protection, like they really should get the basic swamp here. If it would be incredibly greedy not to do that. Yeah, okay. So they need to be able to try to do this. This might actually be a good card to flare here. Okay. Pass, and I'll just play Hexcatcher at the end of their turn. Or actually, no, I'll play Hexcatcher just in case they play, like, Necro Dominance. We can counter it. Like, they have to know that I have it, right? So playing Necro here does not make a whole lot of sense, but I guess they have to try and just hope. I mean, we're not going to mana screw them too badly this time, because they do have two basic swamps now, but they don't really have a lot going for them at the moment, so they need to be able to, like... I guess this is okay. Like, if they play another Necro, I'll probably have to flare it. Yeah, but they need to play, like, basic swamp to get there. Yeah, it would be nice if the shuffler, like, you know, had some chill, but, you know. What does this do? Vehicles have menace? Okay, whatever, that's fine. Not really relevant. That's great. We can play Dockhand here. So we have something, yeah, we can also just hard cast a flare. I think we're in good shape right now. We find like a lord, we probably just win. Again, I don't really care if they cast that. That doesn't really do anything. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Flare being able to counter creatures is super important. So, that 100%. We need to try to break through these machinations, though. Like, we know they're going to helix us, but we have to, like, get through it. Like, this Soaring would have actually been a huge problem, I think, if it resolved, but we had the flare, so it was okay. Like, this thing is fine. Like, it doesn't matter. I don't think they can reasonably attack us with it, so... The Lord here is just, like, fucking fantastic. That's not that bad, so... That works. So I can attack with all of these, right? It's only a 2-2. It doesn't have Death Touch or anything. And if they try to pull any shenanigans, I just flare it away. Because I'm racing this now. I mean, effectively, I am at 7 right now, I think. And they're at 16. That's also very good. So that means as soon as they go to sacrifice one of these things, we can just counter it with Tidebinder. This is exactly the scenario I kept this in for these guys, so... They can do this at any time they want, right? So... But I can force them to do it this turn. Make the math really awkward. I mean, that's fine. Sure. I mean, you can do that. It's not like super useful to you though. You still take like a bajillion damage. I'm at 8. You have 2 cards, and reasonably, you're not getting through this board. So, Hexcatcher protecting everything is just like I don't think there's any chance we lose here. I can throw away like my entire board if I need to. Like all I have to do is just keep Hexcatcher and Dockhand, and I win. So, all right, okay, we win. 3-1. Good. Gotten our money back. So again, Harbinger looked pretty good there. It did really hurt them, it seemed. Like the first game, they just got obliterated by Harbinger. And yeah, no, they were a little bit clunky in game 2, but we really got this. So, you know, we're already positive. That's good. The first outing with this deck is technically a success already. So, good news for everything. Did not let Necro Dominance resolve. Fuck that card. There is no way that, like, Necropotence can be fixed. It is not a fixable card. Do not want that to be on the board ever. Flare of Denial is really awesome. Yeah. So I think there's one scenario here where I could have played a creature to keep up Flare where I didn't, and that because I'm looking at, like, it's going to take a little bit of practice, I think, to get used to the play pattern of, like, committing to the board and then just sacrificing as necessary. So, yeah, it's a little bit different than Force of Negation in that regard. So, all right, we're on the play for the last game. Excellent. We're up against Pizza Angry. All right, cool. So we have 2 flares and 2 creatures. It's okay. We're up against Gigantha. Means this is probably Tron, I'm guessing. I guess if we just flood out, this is gonna be pretty bad. But hopefully, like, If we have to get rid of a Dockhand, so be it. But then we can maybe just hard cast the other flare. If they play like an expedition map, I am 1000% flaring it. Okay, so maybe this is Death Shadow. Or Prowess. Oh, it could be Prowess. Alright. Yeah, I'm definitely getting rid of this. We're not doing that. Fuck this shit. Alright, what are we drawing that they know about? Alright, we'll play Merfolk. I don't really want to flare anything, but if they play another creature, I'm probably going to have to, so... The only way we're going to beat them is keeping the creatures off the board until we can find, like, Svyelun or something. Yeah, I probably do need to counter this. Because they're looking to, like, play Swift Spear and then bolt me, and I can't let that happen. I don't have the ability to, like, beat Swift Spear once they start, like, playing a bunch of removal spells with a prowess creature in play. So I need to draw Svyelun right now. That's what has to happen. That's bad. We'll play Minamo and pass. I mean, if nothing else, at least Otawara is a spell effect we can do next turn, but hope if they have another creature, it's going to be bad. Slick Shot, Show Off. Oh, okay, that's... Alright, it's rough, but I mean, if they try to go off with it, we have something we can do with it. Oh, fuck. 4 cards. Oh my god. They're gonna just play it and just kill us in one turn. I can just tell. Alright. I just have to pass. I have to hope that they go for it so I can just, like, waste all the spells in their hand. Yeah. Oh my god! We are fucked! Yeah, I don't think that there's any reasonable way that we can win here. Alright, I have to try. Like, I can't do anything otherwise. It was theoretically possible to maybe beat one of them if they went all in on it, but clearly they know what we're all about here, and they're just sandbagging everything so they can just, like, kill us in one turn, for sure. And they will do it. It's not going to be hard. Like, a single lava dart is probably sufficient at this point, so... Yeah. They put us to 7, like, we'll be at 16 from Lava Dart, and then Lava Dart, each casting, it's going to add a total of +8 to the board. So, yeah, Lava Dart is like 10 damage on its own right now. So if they have that, we actually just die. Yep. Here come the pain train. So, what, we're getting hit for 12 at the moment? Alright, that's good. You got it. They add 6 more power, yeah. Okay, so this is... I think we want the Trickster here. I don't actually think Hexcatcher is very good against them. I don't think Svyelun is very good against them, to be honest, and Harbinger of the Seas is also very bad. I guess the Tidebinder sort of interacts with them, so maybe. I mean, I don't like the idea of having to cast Dismember against this deck, but I feel like it's probably better than the alternative, so you probably need it. I mean, we do have some interaction for their stuff. Just it's just gonna be hard. That's all, you know. All right, we need 3 cards going here. I mean, maybe this is where we want subtlety. I'm not sure. I don't think the rest of the cards in our sideboard right now are all that good, to be honest. Like I'm looking at these, like they're very kind of mediocre. Like the Hexcatcher just dies to a lava dart, and it's terrible. We're what are we gonna like 2-for-1 ourselves in Force, and they're still gonna get prowess triggers off of it anyway? Like I really don't want to have to like pitch subtlety to like 2-for-1 myself to just buy a turn. That doesn't seem very good. Svyelun is very slow against them. Harbinger of the Seas does like literal nothing against their mono mountain mana base. Uh, like Consign to Memory is very poor, I think. So what's the least bad thing? Maybe subtlety's the least bad thing. It has flying. I mean, I guess theoretically, like it's. I'm not excited about that at all. But you know. All right, let's play. I don't feel like this is not a good matchup with this configuration of the deck. We definitely. Oh fuck! Look, this is so bad. I can't keep this. This is terrible. This is a little bit better. I think we just. What do we do here? We cannot be pitching cards here at this point. They kept 7 cards. Like I have to keep this and throw away subtlety and just pray. We really need like Chalice of the Void for this, and even that is probably not enough. Because they can play around Chalice like if they want, and they have like a bajillion cards they can play to answer it, so. I mean, I know they probably have removal, but I still have to play a creature anyway. I want to save Trickster for a better turn later on. If they want to like kill this thing in my turn, it's at least a prowess trigger they're not going to get right now, so. Which they didn't even bother, yeah. Okay. There is no way they do not have a spell to cast, so. Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. Like, if I had blocked, they probably would have just cast, like, a bolt or something at my face instead. So, didn't really matter a whole lot. I think I need to play Island here just because next turn I might be able to cast Master the Pearl Trident and Merfolk Trickster. Otherwise, I'll just play Mutavault and Trickster. Maybe that'll be enough. I'm going to have to take a beating this turn, hopefully. It is what it is. Yeah, okay. No, I'm not blocking this. You know that I'm not blocking this, so... They've only did 1 damage. What does that mean? Are they, like, trying to set up a turn with Slick Shot? Is that what's going on? It's very possible they could be. Or maybe they're going to set up, like, light up the stage. I don't know. Any number of possibilities. It's really weird that they didn't, like, kill this thing, though. Okay, well, this puts us a little bit on offense, I guess. Attack! Their hand could just be, like, a bunch of nothing, though. Like, if they just had, like, a bunch of lands, I guess that's possible. It seems unlikely. They haven't missed a land drop yet. Okay. I guess we'll see if they cast any more sorcery speed things here. Underworld Breach. Oh, fuck. It's not good. Means at some point in the future they're going to set up a big turn with this. Which means I probably can't play Trickster right now. Because they're gonna set up a breach turn and then just cast a bunch of spells, so I need to like do stuff with it then. I mean, this is not a bad draw here. Alright, maybe we have a chance. Because if we just Trickster this, like, I don't think this alone is enough to get there. I guess I just need to make sure that Slick Shot doesn't kill us, that's all. They have to pay 2 energy to do this, right? So they can't cast it... Or no, I'm sorry, they can cast this right now. But yeah, okay, they can't exile another card yet. Right. So they could cast the breach. They have to pay mana for it, and they can get discharge and bobble back, which is like not that big a deal. Like I'm pretty sure if they play Slick Shot, I Trickster that thing. Otherwise, I just let this attack me and flash in Trickster, and I should have enough power to kill them. And that's the plan. All right, if we go to combat and they don't do anything here, I'm definitely just gonna burn this Trickster in this. Okay. So what are they going to do here? They're going to cast these 2 spells, I assume. They can cast 1 discharge. It doesn't really do anything. Like, I'm pretty sure they're just dead. I'm just not gonna like. I'm not gonna give them a chance to kill me with like mutagenic growth. Yeah. Okay, we go to game 3. We have a chance. Praying to Svyelun. All right. Do I feel any differently about this for game 3? Maybe. Underworld Breach is certainly a card to be concerned about for sure. That might be worth forcing. Alright, do it like that. Alright, pray! Alright, let's go. They seemed like they had a really bad hand, honestly. Like, it was very slow. They didn't really have a whole lot going on. This isn't terrible. I think that I am supposed to keep this. Because I can cast all of my spells. And I have a Dismember for whatever their like prowess creature is gonna be. They seem like they're not sure what to do right now. They have mulligan to 6. I'm gonna keep this. Dismember is usually stronger when they mulligan because it means they might have less creatures in their hand. So if they the chances that they're on like 1 creature and then they spin their wheels without it, a lot stronger. Or, you know, the chance that maybe they just only have like 1 land or something could also be a lot higher too. So a Tide Shaper might actually be a little bit stronger than I think. Probably not, but, you know, we'll see. If we draw, like, Flare of Denial, it would actually be really good. So we can play this Tide Shaper in turn 1, and then play this Shaper in turn 2, kicking it, and then use the first one to flare it to protect the second one. Okay, Scalding Tarn. Again, if they play like Dragon's Rage Channeler or Swift Spear, I'll probably just kill it. Yeah, okay. You did not find a bobble or anything with it. Good, so... I'm just not going to take any chances here. I'm not going to let them surveil anything. They may only have one mountain, so, you know, if they don't play another land, then we can try to Tide Shaper it, so... Okay. Mm-hmm. That's... I mean, it's a little bit rough. Like if so, this is the critical turn. If they did not find the land here, we're actually in really good shape. This could, again, if they don't have the land, this could theoretically lock them out of the game. So. Oh, they may not have found it. Oh God, if they didn't find it, their ass is mine. All right, we win because now we have Flare to protect it. Like, and we have Force of Negation. Like, we have everything. We are winning this game. Yes. All right. I think we just play Lord of Atlantis here because if we have to throw something away to Flare, then I think that's what it's gonna be. And then, because I'll only get to cast probably one spell, or we can also like Force of Negate stuff. So, and then yeah, we can Tide Shaper their other land if they ever find it. Look, prowess is very difficult to win because you really just need them to have kind of a bad hand, and we got lucky here I think twice. So the odds of us winning this game have gone up by a very large percent. So if they miss a land this turn, then they basically just lose. Like, I don't think that they can come back from it at that point. Yeah, like at this point, like I don't even need to play any more creatures at this. I can literally just like win with what's on the board, and just like hold up everything in my hand, and it'll be fine. I think, yeah, if we expect a lot of prowess, then Chalice probably makes sense in the sideboard. This is fine, right? I play the Otawara here. So how do I want to do this? I don't even know if I want to... I guess I could attack with Mutavault, right? That puts them at 8. I still have, like, these. It gives me the option to... I could attack with the Mutavault, but if I do, then I can't cast the Tidebinder. I don't think I need to worry about it, though. I'm pretty sure I'm just trying to kill them. I think I just, like, ate them here. Play the other Tide Shaper. If I have to flare one away, so be it. And I can always use the Tidebinder in my hand to force them. Like, at this point, yeah, we just have it, so... Alright, we win. We went 4-1, baby! There we go! Svyelun looking out for us tonight. We are eating good. All the cards in the decks, like, they all were useful. I mean, we didn't get to cast the Consign memory, but we had the matchup for it, so it was good. We didn't see Amulet Titan, but I guess, you know, the subtlety would help with that, so it's good to have. It might have been okay to bring it against Eldrazi Tron. I'm not sure exactly, like, how we're supposed to sideboard for that, if we need subtlety for it or not. Like, Eldrazi Tron's a little bit weird because they're more a mix of creatures and like non-creature spells. So like yeah, there's more situations where you might have subtlety, but they'll just have like All's Dust or something like that. Where Tron normally is just playing stuff like Planeswalkers that or like Wormcoil Engines that are things that you can subtlety, and it's a lot fewer stuff like the One Ring that subtlety misses. So I don't know. Oh no, the Control Freak! You just the thank you for the raid. We just literally are finishing up our league right now. We just went 4-1 here. So yeah, all right. So we beat what? We beat Merfolk. We lost to the energy version of Murktide here, right? Then we beat Eldrazi. We beat the mono black burn deck with Necrodominance, and then we just beat Prowess. So there we go. But I think that's a pretty solid 4-1. Yeah, I was impressed with all the new cards. Flare of Denial did everything we wanted it to do and more. Harbinger of the Seas definitely won us games by itself. And we actually did get to use Sink into Stupor to, lock out a game here, so that was good. This card actually was very useful at protecting us, so... it could be that 2 is the right number, it could be that 3 is. I feel like 3 is probably a good bet. I think it remains to be seen, like, the numbers of Svyelun and Tidebinder, but I mean, they're both fine in certain decks. Probably do want to keep all 4 Dismembers in the 75, but you can probably split them however you like, and I am still, I think, okay with the split of Trickster and Hexcatcher for the reasons I described earlier. Like, Trickster's going to be better against, like, random creature decks, and Hexcatcher is going to be better against, like, big mana, or stuff like Tron, or, like, like Storm, or whatever. Usually the decks that are playing a lot of creatures are, this is better, and the decks that are playing more spells are this is going to be better. That's just how it is, so. Or like Bowmasters, this is going to be bad, and, we can always bring in more Tricksters to replace it, so that's why they're split like this. But, yeah, I don't know, like, it maybe we could take out, like, the Consigns and the Tidebinders for Chalices. That seems like that could be reasonable, especially if Prowess continues to be, a deck that we need to look out for. It's been a while since, I've actually intended to cast a Chalice on 1, but, the last time I played it, I think I was only for, like, Living End and Rhinos. So, yeah, but we don't really have to worry about zeros right now. It's probably just 1 that we want it for. And again, it's not perfect. Like, by no means is a Chalice on 1 gonna just, like, beat them, because they still have a bunch of cards they can play that just get rid of it, like, Cast into Fire or something, so... I would not put all your hopes and dreams on a Chalice in 1 winning that game, because even, like, Slick Shot is fine. They can just dump a bunch of spells into Chalice, let them get countered, and Slick Shot will still kill you. So, yeah, do watch out for that, but at the same time, like, it is, like, at least a card we can bring that will help a little bit, so... But yeah, this is a very solid 4-1. I'm probably going to be playing this in my local gaming store tomorrow for some Modern. But yeah, I was very pleased with this. I'm glad to see that the shell works about the way that I thought it did. Yeah, we used all the cards the way that we kind of wanted to, which is usually that's a way that, like, I kind of judge whether a list works or not is... Are we using all the cards? Do they all actually, like, do something? And it does seem like, for the most part, that is the case. So, all right, yeah. Do me a favor, though, if you are just here. I usually stream Tuesday nights, unless, like, on this Tuesday I'm going to be going out and playing Modern tomorrow, so I moved it to Monday. So, normally it's going to be, I'll post on my Twitter when I'm going to go live, so, but it's normally around 7:30 on Monday or Tuesday. Schedules always get adjusted. I do this, like, as a hobby, so I don't, like, get paid for this. Unless, anybody feels like subbing, then I really appreciate it. I don't ask for your money. I know there's a lot of other people that probably need it more than me. This is just something I do for fun. But I appreciate it if you, just in the chat, if you're just here. Or if, you watch the replay on YouTube and you click the thumbs up button. That would mean a lot to me. I really do appreciate that, so... You can find all of my links here with the link tree that I just posted in the chat. What do we got? Sink into Stupor has been mid-free. I feel like this card is probably, like, it doesn't need to be very good because it's pretty free most of the time to play it. But, like, it definitely adds points to the deck. It's probably not going to add a lot, but when it's good, it's probably going to be really good. And when it's bad, it's just probably going to feel like it's not doing anything either way. So I like it because it's basically a free thing, and it works really well with stuff like Harbinger of the Seas. Because if they only have like one basic land and you sink into Stupor, you've basically just like you stop them for an entire turn. They are not casting any more spells that turn. So Veto opens an MH3 pack for you, and you got an Ugin Labyrinth. Oh yeah, that we just played against that card earlier, Milk. Yeah, it's really powerful land. So yes, of course, you're welcome for the stream. We do this every week, so I will be here again next week. Very much looking forward to it. Like I said, thank you everybody for showing up. I think I'm going to send you off to meet MTG because he is playing some Yawgmoth, or it looks like, right? So he's got some modern going on. But yeah, like I said, if you go to the YouTube and just click the thumbs up, the replay should be out by tomorrow morning. So that's all I ask. I don't ask for your money. I just ask for your love. All right. And if you leave nice comments on it, I would also really love that too. I read through all of them and I really appreciate it. So anyways, that's all I've got for now. So everybody, thank you for being with me, for this. My first outing into Modern Horizons 3. I'm glad that it was a successful one. It was a good stream. And hopefully I'll see you guys again next week. So take it easy, everybody. Yeah, that's all I got. Merfolk Tier 1. Yes, for sure. It's going to be Harbinger of the Seas is going to lead the way. All right, I'll see you next week, everybody.